in a new year means saying goodbye to a year gone by. From a cold and blustery start to a political season that heated up in a hurry, and a fire delaying the start of the school year for area students. It has been a year to remember. The Fox 11 Year in Review begins now. And as we take a look back at 2014, it's hard to forget how the year started weather-wise.
There have been memorable videos during this past year, and we asked you to vote online for the top 5, and we'll be counting down the results throughout this half hour, starting now with number 5, and it comes from the Brewers and their new pint-sized mascot.
This year, Wisconsin politics was highlighted by the race for governor. Democrat Mary Burke challenged incumbent Republican Scott Walker.
And until the final week, the polls said it was close, although Walker eventually won by 6 percentage points. Andrew LaCombe has more on a big turnout.
More than half of Wisconsin residents who could vote in November cast a ballot. The roughly 55% turnout is the highest for a midterm governor's election in at least 64 years. Job creation was a major campaign focus for both sides. Mary Burke said her experience at Trek Bicycle would help her improve Wisconsin's economy.
Setting goals, making sure you have plans to achieve those goals, and that you have the benchmarks for knowing if you're on track.
Governor Walker argued Wisconsin can grow more, but the state is moving in the right direction.
I'm for a better economy. I'm for a better UW system. I'm for better schools. I'm for a better technical college system.
Here are the financial facts of the race. Burke spent $5 million of her own money on her campaign, 1/3 of the $15 million her team brought in. Walker raised $25 million since the middle of last year. However, outside groups spent millions more. The governor's win and his victory speech increased speculation Walker will seek the White House next.
That's the difference between what we believe here in Wisconsin and what they're selling in Washington.
The governor says the decision about a run for president could come mid-summer after the state budget is passed. Meanwhile, Burke remains a member of the Madison School Board. She says she won't run for statewide office again. Andrew LaCombe, Fox 11 News.
2014 also saw some major changes to the area around Lambeau Field.
The Packers continued to buy up properties and tore down several buildings.
And of course, they're not done yet. Robert Hornacek has been following the developments from the beginning and takes a look back.
The Packers had a busy year off the field as the team spent more than $6.5 million to purchase 14 more properties near Lambeau Field. That brings the Packers' real estate portfolio to 61 properties, worth more than $47 million. Most notable among the 2014 purchases, this strip mall on Ridge Road, the former Mobil gas station, and the old Citgo gas station.
You see the obvious changes around here. I just felt it was a good time, and the opportunity was there, and you only get that chance once in a lifetime, so it was time.
The time also came for Kmart to close its doors near Lambeau Field. The store closed in July. A few months later, it was one of several Packers-owned properties torn down.
It's really just the next step in what eventually will happen.
Packers spokesman Aaron Popke told Fox 11 the Packers still aren't ready to make any announcements about the future plans for the properties.
We've got some concepts that we discussed before that are being explored, and we're still working through those things.
Village leaders are hoping for something big.
Certainly the commercial end of it, when that's developed, it'll be something wonderful for the whole area, not just Ashwaubenon. But with that, we have to make sure that our interests in the residential areas are protected while that is going on.
The question is, will the Packers' plans become public in 2015? Stay tuned. Robert Hornacek, Fox 11 News.
It's time now for our number 4 video of the year. When a soldier from Oshkosh returned from Afghanistan, one of his first stops was a surprise trip to his daughter's school. Sergeant Scott Anderson's daughter Isabella goes to South Park Middle School. The principal, who was in on the surprise, called Isabella to the office. Isabella said she thought she was in trouble, but that feeling didn't last long.
Hard to beat those kinds of stories any year. Well, more talk about the Packers once again finishing up a sold-out season on the field.
But there was a playoff game in 2014 that was nearly blacked out, you remember. Here's Mark Leland.
The Packers versus the 49ers wild card weekend, normally an easy sell. But last January, a late entry into the playoffs in the midst of a frigid winter had ticket sales coming up short. If local businesses, including Fox 11, hadn't stepped in to buy up thousands of remaining seats, the game would have been blacked out on TV in the Green Bay, Milwaukee, and Wausau markets. The last Packers game blacked out was back in January of 1983 when Lynn Dickey was quarterback.
Was that a wake-up call for the Packers? I think it is a wake-up call for the league, that they've reached the limit of the number of folks that are willing to pay for what it is they're offering.
Ticket prices went from $74 during the regular season to $102 for the wild card game, but that didn't stop the Packers a month later from raising ticket prices this season.
It really doesn't make any sense.
The near blackout did raise questions among fans and had Fox 11 Investigates challenging the NFL's policy. We found lawmakers pushing the Federal Communications Commission to revise its rule on blacking out sports games.
Treating the fans this way is something that should have been corrected a long time ago.
The rule began decades ago to ensure ticket sales, but now the bulk of NFL money comes from broadcasting the games.
Yeah, the broadcasts are the most important thing to the NFL. It's the mother's milk of the NFL.
The FCC in September sided with fans and did away with the blackout rule, but NFL contracts with teams like the Packers still have blackouts in place, forcing fans to fill the stadiums or have TV sets at home go dark. I'm Mark Leland, Fox 11 News.
In 2014, some people in our area truly made an impact on other people's lives, like this holiday gesture with the help of Oshkosh firefighters. Santa was not only spreading Christmas cheer, but also collecting food and toy donations. And Fox 11 introduced you to many more people throughout the area making a difference.
Michelle Melby takes a look back at some of those stories.
This special group of cheerleaders is melting hearts.
It's fun.
They're members of the Green Bay elite Shining Stars of the Fox Valley. The cheer team is in its first year and allows kids with special needs a chance to take part.
Let's go. Good hustle, good hustle.
We also featured some volunteer coaches in De Pere. In their free time, they help kids learn the game of soccer.
It's been awesome to watch the girls grow up and play as a team and just develop as good soccer players.
Volunteer coaches are the lifeblood of many athletic programs throughout the region. But it wasn't just people. We also introduced you to a miniature horse who's helping patients in the Green Bay area find their smile.
She just makes us happy. You can see in the hallways, everybody just like glows, like she's here. You know, she's the most amazing little pony we've ever seen.
This is Rosie, and she's part of a pet therapy program in Bellevue. There were some global efforts as well. These two area women are helping orphanages around the world.
We've been able to take different donations of time, talent, and treasures and match them up with different needs.
Their organization, Jake's Diapers, has collected nearly 2,000 diapers.
It's just a wonderful feeling that we can make a difference.
And we're looking forward to sharing how others are making a difference in the year to come. Michelle Melby, Fox 11 News.
Taking a closer look at what people clicked on this past year.
The story you just heard about Corey Lindsley's kind gesture to 10-year-old Travis Kolbeck was the third most popular of the year, registering 106,424 page views. And while Lindsley's Packers took down the Chicago Bears twice this year, our number 2 story was about a man who took down a real bear. Dennis Arndt was hunting in Wapaka County in September when he saw a giant black bear the locals had nicknamed Samson.
His big head came in and you could just tell he just whipped that log. I'm like, dude, that's him. I tried to take the clip off real slow.
The animal weighed in at 780 pounds, and as for the story, it came in at 134,125 page views. Our most viewed story of the year had people coming back constantly for updates during a tense morning. People throughout the Fox Valley awoke to an Amber Alert on September 28th. 2 people had been found dead, and an 8-year-old girl was missing. As new information came in, we updated the story, and people kept clicking on it for the latest.
A young girl is reportedly uninjured after she went missing overnight.
Her father, Nicholas Toonstra, was eventually charged with the killings of his estranged wife, Melissa, and her boyfriend, Justin Daniels. In all, the various versions of that story saw 194,563 page views.